All right. So everyone's here. It's 2:31, and I'm calling this meeting of the Youth Council Communications Outreach Subcommittee to order. I don't see anyone from the public here, so we have member updates. Does anybody have any updates from last meeting? Yeah, go ahead, Anthony.
This is just one quick thing. I'm so sorry. I've been swamped with schoolwork, but I'm hoping that this Wednesday or Thursday will be around the time. Hoping not Wednesday, preferably, would be when I'll send out the newsletter to you guys. So you can give some feedback, and hopefully by this weekend, we can start sending it out. That's all I got.
That's great. Lauren, any Facebook updates?
There isn't much happening on our page. I am proud to say it's dry. A few weeks ago, I was really good about like reposting stuff from the town. I have been trying to stay off of Facebook the past few days, but I can, look through it. I'll try to keep that up, but nothing super new.
Yeah, same with the Instagram. Pretty dry. Hopefully soon we'll have some like voter registration stuff up too.
Alyssa, actually it's later on in the agenda. I'll wait till that comes.
Okay. All right, so next we have discussion of mental health outreach ideas. So just kind of trying to develop things that we can maybe bring to the mental health working group when we start those meetings, which will hopefully be soon, I think. Just kind of in terms of social media and like providing resources, does anyone have any ideas for that? Because I know Lauren and I had talked a little bit about that before.
Yeah, so I recommended to Alyssa to post the contact information for math support because it's like completely free and confidential. So I feel like it's pretty approachable for adults and teenagers and youth. And then I'm hoping maybe we can put out even just like if it's emails of people's guidance counselors and break down like the alphabet breakdown of each guidance counselor's caseload, just to kind of get those resources going. I feel like that would, I feel like it would be helpful.
I'm putting in the chat the Wakefield student support website. If you guys haven't spent any time on this, especially for the it actually gives the breakdown of all the guidance and student support staff at every grade level and every school. It has pictures of them and a little bio. But then every subject matter from eating disorders to self-harm to suicidal ideation is covered. So it's just a really good resource. And I don't know if have you guys promoted that on social media yet?
No, not yet. We were hoping to start putting some stuff like that out soon.
Okay, so that would be a good, just a good general resource, because that's where we have a lot of our local resources, because there are two, I think we mentioned this in our presentation when Mr. Strone came on, but there are two big things like the Elliott resources for crisis. They'd come in and do crisis intervention for any young person struggling. They'll actually come to your house and do an intervention. So that's one resource you can also call them. And then the interface is the referral service that will link people to therapists if someone wants a clinician to meet with them. So those are the two big local resources that we try to promote through the health department and through the public schools. But I also think you guys are like the mass student support with all that, and then any kind of suicide hotlines, things like that.
Is there, Ali, I was wondering if you have any ideas for reaching out to middle schoolers, because I know, a lot of middle schoolers don't have Facebook or Instagram. So what do you think would be a good idea? Like flyers, because it's something that I feel like people might want to have instead of, just hearing it over like the morning announcements. So I guess we could do like flyers or maybe just a handout that people could get in homeroom, or even if it's just an email to parents too. Do you have any ideas?
So I think that emailing would be the best route, because I know that if it's an email from the administration, kids will definitely check that, because we also have to think about remote students, because they don't go to they're never in the building. So I think that emails would be the best route to go, because emails from the administration are always looked at and seen.
I'm sorry if I'm laughing. Jack just texted me and I'm all over the place today. But yes, that sounds like a great idea. Yeah, and I think especially with middle schoolers, like going through parents with stuff like this might be helpful. Jack, please stop laughing because I can't handle you right now.
I was also going to say I could definitely include some like quick facts on the next newsletter, just so parents can be made more aware of just some maybe pieces of information from the survey that were more alarming. And we could also do some like Instagram and Facebook posts about like check in with a peer today, and like maybe show some certain facts, like over the past 2 weeks, for example, like over 40% of students said over the past 2 weeks they have felt worried for every day consecutively. Like you make sure you check in with a peer today that you may not be sure of what as to whether or not they're feeling great.
And I just wanted to say I do like the Lauren's idea about emailing parents, because I think that's also a good route to take with middle schoolers.
Ollie, I know you are going to try to go to the PTO meeting coming up. Would you be interested in getting on their agenda and sharing some, because Alyssa now has the Galvin data too, sharing both the Galvin and the high school data with some of the
Yeah, I could definitely share that presentation with the PTO if Alyssa could send those to me.
Yes, I'll send those to you when we're done. Does anyone else have any specific ideas before we move on?
I just wanted to say, I like Anthony's idea of, if instead of just putting the information out there, something bolding, like, did you know, like in a statistic that's really gonna, because if you notice at our last coalition meeting we had, or our last meeting, there were a few adults on that meeting and they were just kind of dropping their jaws at that data, and kind of, so if it's we always say, you raise concern but give hope. So you want to raise the concern to say, okay, that there's an issue going on here, but there's hope. There's, so maybe put in some of the, actually the Galvin stats. Well, Alyssa, if you saw that, there were some actually positive things in there, but also some resources for help.
Alyssa, do you mind sharing that with the rest of us too? I'm curious to see what that was like.
Yeah, I just got it today, so I'll send it to everyone after the meeting. Okay, so next we have discussions on collaborating with the mental health working group. I guess I have it written as subcommittee, but working group, and the good news subcommittees. So obviously those aren't like explicitly us, but chances are it would be helpful to collaborate in the future. So Lauren, I don't know if you had any ideas for the mental health working group, since you're going to be running that.
Yeah, so I don't have any like specific ideas. I'm hoping to work closely with the guidance department and like high school administration, possibly the school committee. I actually saw Mrs. McLeod in passing today, and she said that she got our like the slideshow with the survey results, and she was very glad that we did that. She was very impressed about the way it looked. So kudos once again to Alyssa. And so I said that she can kind of expect some emails from me, just trying to plan a meeting time. She thought it was a great idea if we did a video presentation for to be sent out to the staff. So she said that, so they have a full staff, like faculty meeting today. Their next one isn't until the beginning of May. So she left April open in case she needed to schedule something. So she said that she could put one together in case we wanted to, you know, be there to answer questions, which I think might be a great idea. But I don't want to like put anything, you know, on, you know, burden them, whatever. So I think that's all I have. If I think of anything, I'll shout out. But yeah, if anyone else has any ideas, I'm open to hearing them.
That's great. I'm excited to see here the video presentation thing is moving along. I was really hoping we could get something like that done.
I mean, I would say get it to in front of the teachers as soon as possible, because you know, some of the specific things around the remote learning and everything, I think could be helpful for them to hear, and you know, if they haven't heard it, and seeing those numbers. The teachers are amazing, and I just think having that added compassion of, oh, you know what, 4 out of 10 of my students are really struggling right now, so that, you know, kind of being reminded of that would be helpful. So I can certainly mention it to her, but I think you guys are the strongest advocating voices. Just say, yeah, we'd like to put together a brief presentation, and it doesn't have to be a whole meeting, but if we do a presentation, allow for 10 minutes of Q&A or something.
Yeah, I have a great relationship with Mrs. McLeod. She's so amazing. And I know that, you know, the rest of the high school administration and guidance department, they're so open to us being there to answer questions and just kind of hearing what we have to say. So I'll definitely be in touch with them. And then Jack, do you think you could, or I can do it too, in that email that you were going to send out, maybe attach a Google form to see if anybody wants to be on the mental health working group, and then also one for the good news, or like the feel good subcommittee as well.
Yeah,
I think that might be a good idea.
That's all in there. I'm just finishing up the emails and sending that out today after I get back from the dentist. But both those Google forms are in there.
This is so exciting. We have like more than one subcommittee now. Okay, and then with the good news subcommittee, I feel like that'll progress a little bit more as they start working on it. Lauren, were you gonna help Jenna with that, or is that something you wanted one of us to take on?
So I know I originally said that I was going to, and I would love to be a part of it. I just don't know if I kind of helped chair it, if it could reach its fullest potential, where I'm going to be kind of occupied with I think the mental health initiative is kind of where I'd like to focus my energy. So I'd love to be a part of it. I just don't know if I, you know, want to kind of like take it on, if that's okay with everybody.
Oh, it's totally fine.
I feel like we have a lot of other youth members that could benefit from co-leading something. So
yeah, I was gonna say maybe Jack, you could put a little spot on the form, like asking if someone would be interested in co-leading the good news one with Jenna.
And sometimes it's types of positions, it's really hard for some people to just initiate that. So maybe even if you can think of someone that would, you want to just ask if they would be interested in co-leading it. I mean, I think, you know, Alyssa, any of you could ask. I mean, I think Ollie would be great. You're doing a lot already. But anyway, just a thought.
Yeah, definitely. Does anybody have anything else related to this before we move on? Okay. Next thing is application distribution outreach update. So I posted, I believe it was after last meeting, about applications and like the whole process and everything. So we have that link available to everyone, and I believe Lauren did as well, like the same things, the same links. So hopefully we'll be able to get applications out and coming in. I was wondering, Ollie, if you had been in contact with like the PTOs or like administration at the Galvin about kind of sending things out for the middle schoolers.
Yeah, I can definitely contact the Galvin administration and the PTOs about applications. I just need the resources, the proper resources.
Okay, that's great because I know we want to make sure everybody has the opportunity to apply. So I thought it would be a good idea to make sure everyone has it.
I had a thought, would anyone be willing to reach out to Mr. Pavey? Because he's part of his job is really to make sure civic engagement is happening. So then maybe he could reach out to all the social studies teachers too and have them make announcements in their classrooms. So I didn't know if anyone was would be willing to send a link to the application and write him an email.
I can do that because I already have that connection with him from when he came to our meeting. So I'd be happy to do that.
I think that would be great because I really think he's excited. And I know he was a little concerned based on what's happened in the past month about youth wanting to apply to the youth council. I know it's a concern of mine. So bye, Jack. Good luck at the dentist. But something that I don't know. Does anyone have any thoughts on that? Like youth being nervous about applying to the youth council?
I like totally get why they would be. Maybe I don't know how we would exactly be able to do this, but maybe we could have a part of a meeting that's coming up, like for questions, like if people want to come and just kind of like talk to us, and then they could stick around for the rest of the meeting, kind of see how we function if they want to, because I feel like obviously looking from an outsider point of view, there's a lot going on and it is a lot to handle, but I feel like coming from us and not adults being like, oh, it'll be okay, like it'll be different for them, and whether that helps them decide, then I think that would be beneficial.
Or possibly even making like some type of official statement of sorts, or just some type of post on our social media pages, like sort of officially saying like we are encouraging anyone among the youth to apply, no matter what their viewpoints are, no matter what their backgrounds are. We're encouraging anyone to apply if they are interested.
Or we could do some kind of post where like people can ask questions, like one of the stories where it was like, do you have any questions? They can just like ask whatever, and we can respond to them on like with a story that tells everyone, or we could just, if it's super specific, we could DM a person specifically. So I think just giving the opportunity to ask questions. I don't really want to like force questions upon people because that might turn them away even if they really do want to be a part of the council. But I think having the opportunities would be really good.
What about generating like an FAQ list, like common asked questions about serving on the youth council, like how many times, what's the time commitment, and how do we meet, and when are the meetings, and who, I don't know, you guys could think of those questions, but I think that would be helpful. I really like that idea of sending out some sort of social media saying, this is our next upcoming meeting. We'd love for you to join us. And then I love that idea too of the social media, like the story where you're engaging and answering questions about the youth council and everything, because I think there's just a lot of misunderstanding about how the youth council operates. And if anyone comes to a meeting or watches the youth council in action, it's like, wow, this is, it's not a huge amount of, if you're just coming to the meetings, it's very professional and it's great learning opportunity, and how you have different town leaders come in and learn about different, I'd love for some of you guys to talk about your liaison roles too. I think that's a really interesting part of the youth council.
Yeah, I can put something together and have that like up soon, and then in the next meeting announcement kind of encourage people who are thinking about applying to come, because I know I did that in the original like applications are open post, but a reminder would probably be helpful. Does anybody else have anything they want to talk about, discuss, propose? Oh, wait, Catherine. Jack said he wanted to become like a member, like a voting member of the subcommittee. Do we have to like how does that work? Do we have to, I don't even know. You're on mute. You're muted, Catherine.
Totally muted, sorry. My dog was barking, so I kept having to
Oh,
mute myself. I can ask Sherry how that works.
okay.
Send her an email now. I also, I'll follow up on the budget piece too, on your what we can and can't spend money on for that, the youth council line item, because we, you are coming up on the year mark.
Okay, so if nobody has anything else, the next meeting, well, we don't even know when the next council meeting is. Okay. Do we want to just stick with 3 weeks? So it would be the Monday, the 29th at this time. Does that still work for everyone then? Okay.
Yes, so can I ask some clarifying questions?
Oh,
So,
yeah.
as far as the mental health working group, Lauren, you're gonna set those meeting dates and invite people to those and get, because everything still has to be public meeting. As far as helping Jenna, I could help get the meetings going for Jenna for the Good News Working Group. But would we, am I waiting to hear who is co-leading it? How do you want to proceed on that? Should I reach out to Jenna and ask her?
I think it would probably be better to kind of start getting it started now. I'm not sure how fast people respond to the surveys Jack sends out, but if you do reach out, maybe like ask if there's someone she would like be comfortable working with and or something like that, and see if they respond that they would be interested. Maybe like ask them if they would be willing to help her out with that.
Okay, someone besides Lauren. All right, that sounds good. Ollie, any interest on that one? I mean, you have a lot going on. You have a lot of meetings coming up, so. All right, I will ask her. Maybe someone, we have some sophomores on the group. Nick's getting involved in a lot of stuff too, so.
I feel like Summer would be a great fit.
That's
Yeah.
what
Like Summer just strikes me as such a positive person. Like I feel like I'm always smiling when like she's talking or if I'm around her. I feel like she'd, and I don't want to volunteer her for it, but I think she'd be great. And I also think Yana would be great, but I know she, she plays sports and stuff, so I'm not sure what she has going on. But
yeah,
Well, I think
that came to mind
Summer
for me
does,
too.
but she might, that might be a good opportunity for her to get involved. Any other suggestions, Anthony or Ollie?
I was about to say Yana as well, but I know she is busy, but I feel like she would also be a really great fit. But I love possibly having someone on the younger side of the youth council, such as Summer as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm excited to, see who decides to apply and get, have some new people too involved in the youth council. So, all right. So I will reach out to, do you want me to reach out to Summer and ask her? Or Alyssa or Lauren, would you like to?
I would maybe ask Jenna. I'd probably have one of us ask Jenna first. And then maybe Jenna could even reach out to her if she felt comfortable with that.
Okay, so Lauren, why don't you ask Jenna and say, Kath's going to be following up with you to set up a meeting. Is there someone you feel comfortable? We were talking about either Summer or Yana, but if there's anyone else, and then just CC me on the conversation.
Okay.
we can go from there. Because I do think it'll be really nice. I think people, you know, around the mental health stuff, people need that hope, need to hear about the great things that young people are doing in this community. So I do, and I, you know, I'd like to get it in the paper and in
Yes.
on social media too, because we just need to, you know, keep going high, keep riding that high, taking the high road on these things and showing the positive ways that youth contribute to our community. So
I could not agree more. So yeah, I'll definitely reach out to Jenna.
okay, and I do have to say again, Anthony, the vision meeting the other day, great job on your role in this. You have been wonderful. And I do think as far as the communications team, when social media, when that comes up again, when the next forum, Anthony will let us know. But if our Facebook and Instagram can kind of push that out there, because like I said, I had a youth in mind, and it really, having the youth voice in those types of meetings when we're talking about what's important. We were talking about accessibility, and the youth was like, it's really hard to get to the high school, and people, oh yeah, we, you know, and it's really important.
So if nobody else has anything, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
I second.
All right, Lauren,
Yes.
Anthony,
Yes.
Ollie,
Yes.
and myself, yes. All right, thank you guys.